Welcome back. In our top business story, along with international markets across the world, the GCC region's bosses are eagerly awaiting the outcome of the US debt ceiling debate. Meanwhile, experts warn volatility could continue. Should a deal not be reached, regional investors' risk appetite may be limited, which will impact especially equities as they are considered riskier assets. If US lawmakers do not agree to raise the debt ceiling by Tuesday, August 2nd, then the US Treasury Department will no longer be able to guarantee that all of the country's bills will be paid on time. It would then be in default. So what would that mean for the region's stock markets?
Worst case scenario would be a downgrade, of course, for the credit rating for the U.S., which would cause further fears in the market and further downside to be seen affecting global economic growth as a whole. Obviously, this is not the scenario that we would hope for, but it is a possible scenario. Nevertheless, we have been hearing today, early morning, that there is a compromise that has been almost finalized between the Republicans and Democrats, and this will be viewed in raising the debt ceiling very soon. Of course, this could be something very positive for the market, helping reduce the fears of investors and increase some risk appetite towards riskier assets, whether equities or commodities even.
Emirates Airline has become the official carrier and partner to Spanish football team Real Madrid. The 5-season sponsorship deal is worth around 26.4 million dirhams per year and will raise the airline brand's awareness and profile throughout the main Santiago Bernabéu Stadium and the city of Madrid. Sheikh Ahmed bin Zayed Al Maktoum, the chairman and chief executive of Emirates Airline and Emirates Group, stated that adding Real Madrid to the European sponsorship lineup further enhances Emirates' superb list of teams that they already support. Arsenal, for example, Hamburger SV, Paris Saint-Germain, AC Milan and Olympiacos. Emirates officials added that the airline launched flights to Madrid on the 1st of August last year and that the deal is a great way to mark the anniversary. And more banks in the UAE have released their results. Dubai Islamic Bank posted a 10% rise in second quarter net profit of 331 million dirhams, up from 301 million for the same period the previous year. Over in Abu Dhabi, Waha Capital announced a net profit of nearly 36 million for the first half of the year. Assets increased to 3.9 billion dirhams, that's a 2% rise from the beginning of the year. Union National Bank posted a net profit in Q2 that was 23% higher than a year ago. It stood at 419 million dirhams. And the Dubai Financial Market Company recorded a net profit of 14.7 million dirhams. That's 46% less than a year ago, however 600% more compared to the first quarter of this year. So let's now take a look at the local and regional stock markets. Except for the Dubai and Saudi stock market, all other bourses ended lower today. And in our world business news, with the deadline to increase the US debt limit closing in, the likelihood of a last-minute solution seems to be increasing. According to Bloomberg, the White House and Republicans have sketched out the contours of an agreement to increase the nation's $14.3 trillion debt ceiling that would raise borrowing authority through the next presidential election, a person familiar with the talk said late on Saturday. The deal is said to include immediate spending cuts of $1 trillion and the creation of a special committee to recommend additional savings of up to $1.8 trillion later this year. On Saturday during the day, the Republican-dominated House of Representatives rejected a Senate debt bill, a day after the Senate did the same thing to a House bill. This gridlock puts the U.S. at risk of losing its top-notch AAA credit rating.
We both talked to the President today. Talked to the Vice President several times. I think we've got a chance of getting there. What I think is not helpful is the process we're going through here on the Senate floor, having show votes over live quorums.
Today, the Speaker and Republican leader held a press conference to announce they're in talks with the President. and that a bargain to raise the debt ceiling is in the works and is close. Mr. President, members of the Senate, that's not true. I just spent 2 hours with the President, Vice President, and Leader Pelosi, and it's fair for me to say that the engagement there is not in any meaningful way.
German Finance Minister Wolfgang Schäuble has dismissed reports that Greece's second bailout package will lead to a future transfer union, where Eurozone countries take responsibility of each other's debt. According to Reuters, Schäuble stated in a paper that the Eurozone is not harmonizing interest rates or collecting debt risk. He was quoted as saying that the requirement of each Eurozone member state to make savings, which is tied to financial aid, exerts a disciplinary effect on the states that receive it. Meanwhile, Germany has been advising German companies to invest in Greece. Crude oil output in July of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries rose to its highest level in 3 years. According to Reuters, a survey showed that OPEC oil production rose by 260,000 barrels, a 0.8% increase to just below 30 million barrels per day in July. That's the highest level since December 2008. The increased output levels were led by Saudi Arabia and Angola. Currently, WTI trades at $95 and Brent at $117 a barrel. Before we go, here's a quick overview of the oil and currency markets, and after that, we have the day's sports news for you.